too early, the athlete is at a huge risk of further problems down the road, including anything with their school or memory or continuous headaches.
For concussion treatment, get started at ElevatePerformanceSD.com.
Luck runs deep at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort, where you could win a share of $86,000 in cash and prizes. Every Friday and Saturday night from 8 p.m. till midnight, Cadillac Jack's will have drawings twice per hour, with cash and prizes growing all night long. Starting at $300 and building up to 3 chances to win $1,000 between 11 p.m. and midnight. Big wins every weekend. No waiting for one grand prize night. See how far your luck can take you at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. How will your night play out?
It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare South Dakota's young people for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think again. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Here's what you need to know.
At the Winter Olympics, the U.S. women's hockey team picked up a win in Group A action in the preliminary round over Canada today, 5-0. Men's figure skating, American Ilya Malinin is in first place after today's short program, and it's a silver for the mixed doubles curling team of Corey Teese and Corey Dropkin as the Americans fell to Sweden in the gold medal match 6-5. Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel told the reporters they plan on keeping Will Campbell at left tackle entering the 2026 season. Rams tackle Rob Havenstein is retiring after 11 seasons. Mets all-star shortstop Francisco Lindor could miss up to 6 weeks if he needs surgery to repair a fractured bone in his wrist. Well, the Tigers are bringing back Justin Verlander. He signs a one-year deal with Detroit, the team that he spent the first 13 years of his career with. Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Austin Reeves, and Marcus Smart out for the Lakers tonight against the Spurs. Brandon Ingram to replace Steph Curry at the All-Star game.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in. Ready to go tonight. How are you? The Nate Brown Show is back. We are live on Fox Sports Radio across the state of South Dakota. We call it South Dakota Sports Talk Show, and it's always a great day in South Dakota. Say that with me. Hope you're doing solid. The Nate Brown Show is live on KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Welcome in the East Riverside. Also right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. You bet, ready to go and stream us all the time. Quite a few locations. You can get us on X. Follow us and watch us live at Nate Brown Show. So if you want us to get us on your phone, you've got us right there on X at Nate Brown Show. Follow the show. Watch us live. Welcome in studio. And on Midwest Sports Plus. New app. If you haven't checked that out, I encourage you to do it. You're a high school sports fan like me. Midwest Sports Plus, they're doing a great job covering a lot of games, a lot of hoops right now on Midwest Sports Plus. Download it in the App Store, and then you can get this show live right now on Midwest Sports Plus. And one more place, YouTube channel is live, The Nate Brown Show. Search for us on YouTube, The Nate Brown Show. Subscribe to the channel. You've got every show live and archived. A good day yesterday to start off the week. Reaction to the Super Bowl, reaction with USD's coaching change on the football side, and more. Had the USD athletic director on, John Schimmel. Some great guests, Mike McFeely from North Dakota and his quest for the Mountain West. The North Dakota State Bison have made it. So check the Nate Brown Show podcast. If you miss any shows, our podcast is there on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. The Nate Brown Show podcast, search for it. But you've got us live on your drive home. Let's look at what's happening on a Tuesday show tonight. 4 great guests across the board, local, regional, national. And let's go. Jason Andera tonight. He's back in talking high school hoops. Let's get an update from Jandy tonight. High school hoops entering the last month here. I mean, we're getting into crunch time. State tournament's a month away. State tournament basketball a month away. Jason Andera is coming up from SDPB Sports live from Sioux Falls. We'll go to Wyoming. Hey, they're in the Mountain West. They've been there a long time. What's the reaction from a team in the Mountain West of North Dakota State joining the Mountain West? Kevin McKinney, longtime color man for the Wyoming Cowboys Radio Network, longtime associate athletic director for the University of Wyoming. Good guy to get. He's been there, done that. He's been with Wyoming over 50 years. Kevin McKinney is in tonight from Laramie. We'll go to Brian Noe, Fox Sports Radio, national host of Countdown to Kickoff. Brian Noe talking ball tonight. And Jeff Kolpak covers the North Dakota State Bison heavily in depth, and he's got some new reporting today from Fargo. Jeff Kolpak's on from Inforum.com. Tuesday's show guest lineup looks good. If you want in tonight, let's try and do that. 605-720-1067. Join us live, 605-720-1067. 1067. That's our direct line, the Pizza Ranch studio hotline, powered by the Pizza Ranch at East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. Drop by the location in Brandon. Really great locations, home of everyone's favorite buffet, your locally owned and operated Pizza Ranch. One more place, hit us on the text line, 605-720-1067. Same number if you can't call, text the show instead. The Barons Wilson text line, 605-720-1067. Off and running on this Tuesday. So yesterday, we had the big news of it was official, and North Dakota State had their big press conference joining the Mountain West, and it's a big deal. So I asked the question of the day yesterday, what was your reaction to that? How would you describe it? And so there was numerous people that chimed in on social media and then chimed in on the text line. And there's a lot of people said, hey, this was the right move, the right time. This was a smart move. That's most of the audience, even in South Dakota, saying the fuzzy cows up north. Is that what you guys call them? They said even for those guys, that was a smart move to join the Mountain West. Expensive. Although there was some people here. I got a couple of texts that said, dumb move, expensive move. They should have just waited. I got a few of those reactions. So that was yesterday. How would you describe the move from North Dakota State to go to the Mountain West and the FBS? So that was yesterday. I want to move forward now. It's a done deal. And I actually want to react to something here. There are realities now. There are realities of North Dakota State going to the Mountain West. Not just what it does for them. That's what I talked about yesterday. What does it do for NDSU? You think it was a smart move. At least most of you do. It's like, hey, if you can do it, you got to do it. You get an invite, you got to do this thing. There are realities for the impact that it has on other programs that we care about. So this is my take. You can call it a hot take. This is my take on North Dakota State going to the Mountain West and the realities that are happening now. It's bad for South Dakota State. I'm going to maintain that. I'm not telling the SDSU's folding up. Let's not go crazy here. I know where SDSU's at. I know the excellence that they've had. The growth there has been outstanding. The facilities, the stadium, the support, the winning. SDSU is really, really at a high level. Really at a high level. Their funding is good. They're closer to the FBS than many people would think. However, they aren't going yet, and this move by North Dakota State on their own is bad for South Dakota State because two of the big things to me, they lose their biggest rival. That was a real big thing. The Dakota Marker was a thing. The passionate fan bases, back and forth. And if you don't believe it, just check social media sometime. The bitter rivalry. Those games were huge. That was the game you circled. I mean, that's what people were looking at in the Missouri Valley. Who's going to come out on top, SDSU or the Bison? So losing the biggest rival, that game is off the table. They just aren't going to play that game. You're surely not going to have it in Brookings ever. So until SDSU can make this jump. Until they can make the jump, they're not going to be playing North Dakota State, and that's a bad deal for SDSU. Losing your biggest rival, the most passionate game day experience on the SDSU schedule. And I know Yotes fans are going to say, hey, what about the rivalry here, the in-state rivalry? No, I'm going to get to that. I'm not downplaying that. We just know that the Jackson Bison, the programs that were colliding at the top tier of the FCS, that was the best passionate game on the schedule. And now that the Jacks have to, you can say it, stay down in the FCS, and NDSU is jumping to the FBS, the Bison get a big jump start now. So however this all plays out in the next 3 years, and I'm still going to maintain that, in the next 3 years, you're still going to see change in college football. I've said that on this show numerous times. 3 years, I've got that mark. You're going to see the Power 4 stuff different. You're going to see the Group of 6 stuff different. However that plays out, NDSU leaving now and getting the jump start on the Jacks, that hurts. Okay? So I do believe this, people are going to say, oh, North Dakota State's not playing for national championships anymore. That's a bit, it's like, they don't care. I mean, they might have cared. They don't care anymore. I'm telling you, NDSU wouldn't have done this if they cared about the FCS national championships. They've been there, done that. That's their deal, and they don't care anymore. So, SDSU, not a good day, not a good week for the Jacks with the NDSU move. You lose a lot there. I'm going to flip this around, and this isn't a hot take. This is real. This is a good thing for USD. I know USD wants to put themselves, well, we're right there with SDSU. They're not quite there. They're getting there. They're getting there. And people would know that. People understand that. They are getting there. You just look at the numbers. Football to basketball, they've had success, but not at the level of South Dakota State yet. That's the fact. So I think it's good for USD because now it takes NDSU out of the equation. You're gone. Who's the biggest rival for the Jacks now? Automatic. It's automatic. The Yotes turn into the Jacks' biggest rival. It elevates that game. It elevates the in-state rivalry, and it elevates the brand of USD. I mean, it elevates their brand. With NDSU out the window, if I'm USD, I'm leaning all in. USD, South Dakota State, this is the major rivalry now. This is the game of the year now. So with USD's climb in football and consistency now, I think you can play that in. You can play that. USD, good day because it takes NDSU out of the equation for the rivalry aspect, also for the playoff aspect. So USD had to climb through, get through SDSU, and you're eventually going to run into a buzzsaw somewhere. And it was NDSU. So USD has had success and enough of it to see if you take a major player of the FCS playoff field, USD's now that player. So it's different for USD. SDSU wanted to be there with NDSU. USD wasn't quite. Now USD elevates themselves. They're in that category. This is the Jacks-Yotes situation now, and I think that the Yotes elevate themselves with NDSU's departure. That's my read there. One more, and this is the good one, okay? All the North Dakota State fans are fired up today. North Dakota State, man, we're going to get into the Mountain West. We're going to run the table. We're going to compete. We're going to be right there. We're going to appeal and get into the playoff and get into the bowls. I mean, we're going to win the conference. I'm hearing that, and I'm just going to tell you right now. Here we go, and you guys can sound off on this. This isn't going to be a cakewalk for NDSU. I see the Bison fans. I'm telling you, they're saying this is, we're going to be able to run through the Mountain West, and they're talking about be competitive right away. I will tell you, I think the Bison have a good enough program. You've watched these guys over the past couple of years. They'll be competitive. They're not going to get their doors blown off. Look at what last couple of years. They went to Colorado, played the Buffs, really, really tight. So we've seen NDSU at the level they're at. So it's not like they're going to get rolled over in the Mountain West. I'm not telling you that, but I am not saying right here, right now, I expect a walkthrough for NDSU. I think some people in Fargo, some of the Bison fans that I'm hearing online especially, oh, this is going to be good, man. They already making plans to go here, go there. We're going to be rolling through the Mountain West. And so I'm telling you, set yourself up for regular season losses. NDSU's not used to that. Bison fans, you guys aren't used to this. NDSU just rolled through. For the most part, you'd circle the Dakota marker. Hey, how good South Dakota State going to be? We'll circle that one, and that's about it. And once we get by South Dakota State, we're pretty good. But I'm here to tell you, Mountain West now, week in, week out, do not downplay it. Don't think it's going to be a walkthrough. Things just got a lot harder every single week, big boys. Okay, this is every single week now. You better get used to losing some regular season games. That's been unheard of for NDSU. We're going to lose multiple regular season games. You're going to lose multiple regular season games. What do you mean? What do you mean? Well, you tell me. So I'll throw it out there. I don't even know if you guys you want to go through the schedule. They haven't released it, but they're going to be playing 8 Mountain West games now. And I wanted to do a little exercise on the Nate Brown Show tonight to start it up. If you don't believe me, because I got a guy telling me you're what are you saying? Overrating the Mountain West. You're saying you're overrating the Mountain West. If you know my history, I've watched a ton of Mountain West football. I've watched a ton of FCS football. So that's my wheelhouse. This is my wheelhouse. I watch both heavily. NDSU will compete. They will lose multiple regular season games in the conference, not a Power 4 game and a non-conference game. They'll lose multiple regular season games. This isn't going to be an NDSU championship here. So they can appeal and make sure they're eligible for the postseason and all that, and I'm sure they're going to win that. They aren't going to be winning the Mountain West Conference in the first year. So you've got a tough road, much tougher road than people think, and I think they should be fine with it. I don't know if they expect, you just got to keep winning. Well, when you win like that into the top dog, into the big dog, then when you have some tough games and you start losing, then people start wondering, oh boy, are we as good as we think we are? They're just going to find out. This is going to be an adjustment, not an easy walkthrough. That's all I'm telling you. Mountain West football, not a cupcake. Everybody always said, look at those Mountain West teams. They would lose to the Missouri Valley teams. Maybe sometimes. We're talking week in, week out. So let's go through this, by the way. 8 Mountain West games. Let's just say I don't know who they're not going to play. They're not going to play one team, okay? They're not going to play one team this next year. They'll put the schedule out, I'm sure, shortly as they're trying to, put that thing together. So I'm just going to go through and ask you, does North Dakota State win 5 or more? So that'd be a winning season in the conference, okay? If you don't know the Mountain West teams, let's clue you in. I mean, you guys got to know this. Air Force, Hawaii, Nevada, Jason Eck in New Mexico, Northern Illinois, Wyoming, UNLV, UTEP, and San Jose State. 10 teams playing football in the Mountain West. You're going to have 8 games, and so maybe they won't play Hawaii or something like that. I don't know if they'll make them make that long trip. I don't know. Maybe they're going to make Hawaii come to Fargo Dome and say, hey, you still get to go inside in the winter when it's cold. I don't know who they're not going to play, but let me just ask you. They're going to play most everybody, 8 Mountain West games. Does North Dakota State have a winning conference record or not? That's how we start tonight. On our question of the day, we'll set you up with a free buffet to the Pizza Ranch if you want to answer that on the text line. So does North Dakota State go 5 wins or more or 3 wins or less? 5 wins or more or 3 wins or less? Okay? That's what I'd like to know. 5 wins or more or 3 wins or less? Okay? Question of the day, 605-720-1067. Listener text coming in. I say they have to go 4-4. Listener text. I say they have to go 4-4. Okay, winning season for North Dakota State. Just what you know about the Mountain West. I just listed out the teams. They're going to play almost everybody outside of one team. Winning season in the first year in the conference or not. How good are the Bison going to be at the next level right away? 605-720-1067. That's the text line, and that's the question of the day. A shot for a free buffet to the Pizza Ranch. If you answer our question of the day, what do you expect from the Bison in their first year? Jeff Kolpak is on tonight. New reporting from Fargo. How much money have they raised already? Inforum.com's Jeff Kolpak coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Race to savings at Menards and start updating your home today. We offer an excellent in-stock selection of home appliances that are ready to take home today, including Criterion refrigerators, freezers, dishwashers, and laundry appliances. They're built to help make your life simple. No matter how busy life gets, Criterion appliances are ready when you are. Plus, view our weekly flyer on Menards.com and race to savings on Criterion appliances.
Save big money at Menards.
Does your home have a crawl space? When cold weather arrives, that can mean cold floors, frozen pipes, and higher energy bills. Protect your family and keep the cold air out this winter with Expert Crawl Space Sealing by Blackburn Basement Systems. Sealing keeps your crawl space clean, protects pipes, and insulates your home so floors are warmer and energy bills are lower. A sealed crawl space means a nicer home. Don't wait. Call Blackburn Basement Systems today.
If you're on your feet all day, your shoes matter. At Trav's Outfitter, we carry work boots built for long days, tough jobs, and real conditions. From trusted brands like Ariat, Timberland Pro, and Brunt, you'll find comfort, durability, and support that you can count on. Whether you're on concrete, mud, or steel, the right boots make all the difference. Get fitted, get working. Visit us in the old Kmart building. Trav's Outfitter, best selection, best service, no BS.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A mix of clouds and sun this afternoon with highs around 47. Southeasterly winds around 5 miles per hour. 26 tonight. Daytime highs approaching 52. Tomorrow, a blend of clouds and sun. Mainly clear skies and dry Thursday and Friday. Low 50s Thursday, upper 50s by Friday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 43 degrees.
Take relaxation to the next level with your very own hot tub from Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort. We've teamed up with Rapid Spa to give away a brand new hot tub package worth over $23,000. All month long, earn free daily entries just by using your Clubhouse card when you play, or sign up for a free Clubhouse card today. Play more, earn more entries. Then be here February 21st, and you could be our grand prize winner. Learn more at tinlizzy.com.
Danny Manholt Rapid Chevrolet buys cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment at rapidchevrolet.com for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Danny Manholt Rapid Chevrolet, Rapid City.
Hi, I'm Tim Wrench, and I'm seeking personal injury cases. If you've been injured because someone else did something wrong, call me up. I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried criminal and civil cases for decades, and I can use all of that experience to help you. I also know this, that when insurance companies know that you're represented by a trial lawyer, they take your claim more seriously, and if it is to be settled, it's settled better with a trial lawyer. Wrench Law, 605-341-1111, wrenchlaw.com.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk.
Welcome in. The Nate Brown Show is on tonight. A lot to discuss. South Dakota Sports Talk Show. We'll go to the Mountain West tonight with Kevin McKinney. Let's get reaction from somebody that's been in the Mountain West for a long time. He's the Wyoming Cowboys color man, associate athletic director for many years. He's been with Wyoming over 50 years. Kevin McKinney, Wyoming Cowboys Radio Network. He's coming up. Reaction of NDSU joining the Mountain West. Well, let's go to North Dakota. Jeff Kolpak reporting on it, Inforum.com. North Dakota State going to the Mountain West. It's official, and a lot of things now on the move, man. You got to raise money. You got to get scholarships. You got to get the schedule. Jeff Kolpak on tonight. Follow him at Kolpak Forum on X. Jeff, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, Nate. How's it going? And speaking of X, I was just kind of looking through my Twitter account, and I guess I need to start following Nevada and UNLV and all these people.
That's right.
All new to me.
That's right. Let's get brushed up on that. So there's a lot of things I want to ask you about. Some of the details, though, here. I want to get into some of this. All the excitement's there. They're going to the Mountain West. They're going to the FBS. They got to pay $17 million over the years to come, and it's kind of front-loaded with a big chunk coming up. I saw reporting $25 million has technically been raised on this effort. Talk about that.
Yeah, tentatively, in talking to NDSU Teammakers Executive Vice President, when I was talking to him, I wasn't really prepared he would say that. I'm like, we're just talking about fundraising. I go, how far along are you? And he goes, tentatively right now, in the last 2 to 4 weeks, you think about that, 2 to 4 weeks, he goes, we're at about $25 million. And I go, wow, that's substantial progress. Now, it's not concrete, but I would think these people who they talk to, probably pretty reliable. I mean, I'm sure these aren't new donors. So when Derek Lang says $25 million, I think it's probably pretty close to the ballpark right now.
Okay, so they got to raise money to pay the fees. Do you think North Dakota State has a good chunk of change on hand right now?
Enough, I think right now. I think they have some sources there. When you're talking, man, that contract just, I'm a sports writer, Nate. I'm not a lawyer, but going through that contract was something, and which we got through an open records request this morning. I would say that they're very confident that they have the initial chunk of $5 million to the transition fee. Yeah, I think it's there. I don't have no reason to doubt it's not.
Do you think they'll win this appeal of, hey, we want to be postseason eligible, we want to be able to win this conference? Are they going to win that?
Nate, has the NCAA lost many battles lately? I think they've lost all of them. I mean, I just go back to the state of the NCAA right now. I don't know. I think they will. I just the way things have just gone in college athletics these days, and how it's just, as they say, the Wild West. Again, I have no doubt they'll raise the money. I have no doubt they could win this. I mean, is it imperative? No, it's not. I mean, you're ineligible for bowls for 2 years, yet Missouri State got in this year because there wasn't enough 500 teams.
Yeah.
So Missouri State was in the first year of their transition. College football playoff in the next 2 years, will they go 12-0? Highly doubtful. So I don't think that's, is something that is really, realistic at this point. So, no, I mean, I don't think that's the biggest deal in the world. That's about the appeal.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I would think they'll be able to play in the postseason, I would think, but we'll see where that goes. They're trying to appeal that. Otherwise, they'd be out of it. I think they would be in there. Jeff Kolpak on tonight from North Dakota Inforum.com, NDSU going to the Mountain West. So I said this. Here's a couple of realities. This is, if you want to say, a hot take for me. I think NDSU going to the Mountain West is bad for South Dakota State. South Dakota State was trying to be their equal, their peers. They're two of the top teams, biggest rival, best fans, most passionate game day experience. Jack stayed down in the FCS. NDSU goes up. How does that look for the Jacks?
Well, I think, first of all, it's very apparent in our reporting the last couple of days that this just didn't come about in the last 2 weeks or a month, I think. And NDSU outgoing president David Cook and the AD Matt Larson, they've been at it for 3-4 years now. I mean, this is not something that's happened just by chance. I mean, they've been going at it. How much, we don't know. Is all behind the scenes, obviously. But it's evident that they were putting in a lot of work over a period of years and not months. Now, if I'm a South Dakota State booster and I'm a big contributor, I guess I would have questions on, okay, where are we going? Where's the future here? If NDSU's going, how about us? What's the state of our program? Are you working at it? Are we working at it? Do we? Is that part of our vision? I think all those questions are on the table. They may very well, Justin Sell may very well have be talking last 2, 3, 4 years. We don't know. Again, that's all behind the scenes, and it's not public record by any means. But I would certainly have questions at the least if I'm a big Jackrabbit fan.
Jeff Kolpak on tonight, covers NDSU Inforum.com. What about the situation with UND? Give me that picture. You know, it's just down the road. 2 in-state schools. One of them's going to be totally in a different level. UND's kind of wondering, okay, where are we at? I know the hockey side's been huge, but where does UND fit in here after this?
Well, you just mentioned that. The difference between South Dakota State, Nate, and UND has got a highly visible and highly successful hockey program they've had for 100 years. So that's a huge difference. You're talking about a hockey program that draws 10,000, 11,000 fans a game for hockey. So I just think it's different level, different questions. But, again, I would say at the same rate, I mean, you can't UND fell behind in the Division II, Division I move. I mean, I think they had their chances to go if they wanted to. They didn't, and they were very public about that Division I was not a thing. Go ahead, NDSU, South Dakota State. Go die in Division I. I mean, that literally was the message that was portrayed. So I think they got to be careful. I mean, I would certainly not hesitate to have the Mountain West Commissioner on, have her number anyway and say, what are you guys thinking down the line here?
Yeah, I'm wondering. I don't see everybody like going together, Jeff, like the Montana schools, SDSU, USD, UND. They all wish they could, but it seems like every man for himself.
Well, look at the money. I mean, it's $17.5 million for NDSU to make this move, and that's before raising scholarships and anything else, and they think they can do it.
Yeah,
I just think UND with hockey and football, I just don't know if they would have the money to do it. They would need to find some, certainly deep pocket guys who would be all in for it. Same with South Dakota State. And the price is not going down. I mean, you hear about these stories how the Power 4 goes away or breaks away, but it's still going to be an entry fee to get into the Mountain West. I mean, that's not going to go to zero.
Yeah.
So it's not going to get cheaper. I don't see how that's possible.
How much juice does this bring for fan engagement, re-energizing a fan base? NDSU averaged 15,000 fans this past year. 15,000. Does that go up significantly?
Huge. Yeah. I just in the people I've talked to the last 2 days, and my circle of friends here in North Fargo. I've heard this several times. Like, I stopped going to games. I wasn't going to pay $100 and be at B-dubs by halftime because the game's over. They got tired of it. I think this it totally re-energizes the fan base, in my opinion. No question about that. I think you're seeing that across the board. And I think the fans have been waiting for this too. It's hard to believe, Nate. I just can't wrap my head around it, but it's true. People got bored of winning. I didn't know that was possible. Who gets bored of winning? Well, fans, when you win 10 titles in 15 years, I guess it gets kind of boring. I mean, I still enjoyed covering games. I never found it boring, but I'm not a fan either. I'm a sports writer. And fans, frankly, there was, 10,000 people at the playoff game against Illinois State, a good Valley team that eventually reached the title game.
Wow.
What's that tell you?
Wow.
That tells you they're bored, there's apathy, call it whatever you want. I think that the answer is the FBS move.
Okay, so you're going to go 63 scholarships to 85, and you got a few months to do that. Is that easy?
I think it's I don't think that's going to be a serious issue. With the NCAA House settlement, I believe now with rosters capped at 105, and if you opt in, you can fully scholarship 105. I think that's, unless that's just a Power 4 thing, but I need to find out for sure. But I think you can, but you don't need to. I mean, 85 is enough. The 100th guy on full scholarship is that really going to help you much? Probably not. So yeah, they're going to go to somewhere around 85. I see that happening right away, honestly. And they did that too when they made the Division II, Division I move. They went from 36, and this was a Craig Bull thing. They went from 36 to 63 relatively quick. I mean, within a year or two. So I think that's already been in discussion. I think that's a done deal, honestly.
Before I let Jeff Kolpack off tonight, he's with Inforum.com. They just had the contract posted. I saw that of NDSU joining the Mountain West. Good work and coverage of this transition to the FBS level. So here's an argument. People are wondering, well, how does NDSU... what's their recruiting pitch now? They told guys to play for a national championship. You're coming here to play for a national championship, and now you're not coming here for that. Do you think that holds water?
Well, I guess James Madison made the college football playoff, within 4 years of going up. Yeah, are you going to win a national championship? Absolutely not. Obviously not at this current format. Never going to beat Ohio State or anybody like that. I think making the playoffs would be a realistic goal. If JMU can do it, Liberty can do it. I mean, they were FCS schools. NDSU has every right to think at some point they could eventually reach that. Also, bowl games, I hear that argument, who wants to go to the Fish Bowl or whatever. Don't knock it till you've been there. I know people who go to bowl games or wherever, they have a blast. Okay, I'll go to Vegas. I'll go to, Texas or L.A. or Florida for bowl games. I mean, again, I go back to the FCS titles, Nate. It just, people weren't flocking to Frisco anymore like they used to. It got old to them.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah. No, I get that. Here's the trip you need to prepare for, Jeff. The trip to Laramie, Wyoming in November, okay? You prepare for that one. You guys are tough up there, but you're going to be outdoors, not indoors in Laramie. It's a beauty. So, do you think they are competitive right away? Coach Polisic saying he loves it because he's been in the Mountain West. He's been at Wyoming. He says he thinks so. I don't know what else you're going to say, but I mean a winning season. They're going to play 8 games. Can they have a winning season year one?
Yes, they can. And they can. They're certainly. I go back to their 9-5 against the FBS. Now, that was done in a 1-game hit, during a season when you probably throw all your guns into a big game, like they beat Iowa, Kansas State, beat the Gophers 2 out of 3, should have been 3 out of 3. They've done that. They're 9-5 against the FBS, so there's no reason to think that they have the players physical enough, certainly, to compete at that level. Got to find some speed, and a little more speed than they have in the past, maybe, but that comes with an FBS move. But I think they will be competitive, yes, certainly right away. Would 6 wins be a good goal? Absolutely. To be bowl eligible, I think in your first year would be a pretty good goal to get.
All right, that's my question of the day. So I asked Jeff Kolpack, how many wins can North Dakota State get in the conference in the first year? 5 or more, or 3 or less? The audience sounding off. Jeff, good to have you. I appreciate you hopping in. Thanks a lot.
Anytime, Nate. Thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot. Jeff Kolpack from Fargo tonight, Inforum.com, North Dakota State beat writer, covers Bison football. He's on X at Kolpack Forum, Inforum.com, NDSU writer Jeff Kolpack. All right, question of the day. If you haven't sounded off, I want your take. Does North Dakota State get to 5 wins or more in the Mountain West in year one? They'd be 5-3 in the Mountain West, okay? Or you think 3 or less, okay? I'm going to run through the schedule. I've got them all right here. I mean, they haven't released it, but I've got the teams, and I don't know, one team they're not going to play. So who's that going to be? Are they going to skip the trip to Reno, Nevada? You going to be scared of the Wolfpack or not? But we'll see who they play. But I've got the teams, and I want you to know in the Mountain West, I want you to answer the question of the day. Does North Dakota State win 5 or more, have a winning season in the conference, or 3 or less? You think about it. Air Force, New Mexico, UNLV, okay, Hawaii possibly. Hawaii was pretty good last year. Pretty good. You tell me, 605-720-1067 on the text line. Our question of the day, we'll take a look at the results. We'll talk to Brian No next. live from Las Vegas. Fox Sports Radio's Brian Noe coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Show your home some love with an upgrade to Acclaim replacement windows and an ensemble entry door. Get 20% off windows and doors with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Get an extra 5% off the entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Energy efficient, durable, and custom made for the perfect fit. It's time to show your home some love. Call today or visit RVARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps 1 minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
Sports, your show from East River to West River. This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show live, Fox Sports Radio, KWSN, Sioux Falls. Welcome in on Fox Sports Rapid City. Hope you're having a solid day. You're on your drive home, I hope, out the door and into the evening. Kevin McKinney's coming up from Wyoming. We'll talk the Mountain West picture with NDSU joining. Kevin McKinney's with the Wyoming Cowboys Radio Network. He's the longtime Associate Athletic Director for the Pokes. What does it look like with North Dakota State joining the Mountain West? Kevin McKinney coming up live from Laramie. Talk high school hoops tonight with Jason Andera, so hang on. South Dakota High School basketball with Jason Andera, SDPB Sports. Let's go to Vegas. Hey, Las Vegas could be a home game for UNLV against the new North Dakota State Bison. Boy, North Dakota State fans, you're going to go to Las Vegas? You're going to go to Vegas? You bet you are. Fox Sports Radio's Brian Noe is home base. He is the host of Countdown to Kickoff. I don't know if Brian will be going to the UNLV games or not. Brian, you check out UNLV football.
What's going on, Nate Brown? Good to be with you, buddy. I have not checked out UNLV football. There are a couple of games. I don't know if they exclusively play at Allegiant. I know they played a handful of games there, but no, I have. Yeah, I saw a couple of UNLV basketball games, but not a UNLV football game. I've never been.
All right, well, put that on your calendar. I know there's a lot of things to do in Vegas, but get to UNLV and wait for the North Dakota State Bison to come from Fargo, North Dakota, and you'll check them out potentially. Okay, speaking of Las Vegas, Clint Kubiak taking over for the Raiders. Can he get this organization going? Fernando Mendoza, you're going to take him at number one. You're going to try and hang on to Max Crosby. Can Clint Kubiak turn around Las Vegas?
I think it's possible. You know how it goes, Nate. I mean, you got to upgrade the roster. That's the main thing, and they've got a lot of holes. There's going to be a lot of turnover. I think Max Crosby has played his final down there, but that offensive line is brutal. You got to upgrade that big time. And I think that if you're able to upgrade the offensive line, get Mendoza in there, I think it'll help out Ashton Genty a ton. I still think he's the real deal. It's just you got to have these big 300-pound men that are capable blockers in front of you. That kind of helps. He really didn't have that in his rookie season. So you upgrade the talent around him, I think you got something, but yeah, he needs a lot more help to be as special as he's capable of being.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. It's like some people aren't sold on Fernando Mendoza. They think, well, he just came out of nowhere, and then at Indiana he had some great players and the great coach. What do you see? Do you see Fernando Mendoza being a guy? I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to tell.
Yeah, I mean, it's always very tricky to try to guess how a guy is going to transition from what he had around him in college to what he's going to have around him in the NFL. I'll take a guy I'll give you another example and then bring it back to Mendoza, but that's why I was skeptical of C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud at Ohio State had everything around him. He had 5 separate first-round wide receivers when he was at Ohio State. And that's not to mention he had a first-round offensive tackle. He's got a first-round this, a first-round that. Like, he's got first-rounders all over the place on the defensive side of the ball. And it's like he's going to go from that to the Houston Texans and not skip a beat. I just didn't buy it. And for his rookie season, they proved me wrong. Like, he was sensational his rookie season, but it's looking more and more like a mirage now. So maybe he does need a lot more help around him to be special. But if you look at Mendoza, he's not surrounded by first-round guys all over the place like C.J. Stroud was. And he wasn't dynamic. He was good. He was steady. I get that there's some skepticism. I understand that. But he also brings a lot of production to the table, and I could see him being good in the NFL. But dynamic, he doesn't strike me as a dynamic guy. But if you are an accurate quarterback that can process quickly, there's always going to be a spot for you, and he might be good enough to excel at those things. Worked for Tom Brady pretty well. I know he's a cyborg. He's at a different level. But the point is, you don't have to have Lamar Jackson athleticism to be an upper echelon quarterback. You got to be able to process quickly. You got to be able to throw accurately. And he proved he could do that last season, so we'll see if he can do it in the NFL.
Clint Kubiak, the new Raiders head coach, former offensive coordinator for the Seahawks. And that brings us to our next discussion with Brian Noe. Sam Darnold, you know his nickname now, Super Bowl Sam. His name is Super Bowl Sam. And where does he land? Has he changed the narrative on his career?
You know what's so weird is he kind of did both. Like the Super Bowl win against the Patriots. Listen, if you're a Sam backer, if you're a Sam believer, and you've got ammunition to be like, look at him now. The guy's won a Super Bowl. Nate, he's one of 35 starting quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl. How about that? He's one of 35 guys. You talk about an exclusive list, he's on that list. And so, I mean, you can't take all credit away from him. He had a solid season. He played great against the Rams in the playoffs. But the other side of it is, for anyone who's like, yeah, still not huge on Sam, he didn't play well at all in the Super Bowl, man. Like, he just didn't. He didn't play well at all. Like, that's not hatred. He completed 50% of his passes. All they did was pressure him because they know he can't handle pressure. He had the most turnover-worthy plays under pressure this season. He had the most turnovers in the NFL this season. So that's what the Patriots did. They're like, we're just going to heat you up. We're going to pressure you. We're going to blitz you. We'll put our edge rusher on Jackson Smith and Jigba, but we're sending pressure up the middle because we don't think you can handle it. And they were right. He couldn't handle it. He didn't have answers. He had Jackson Smith and Jigba wide open early in the game for a deep shot, walk-in touchdown, overthrew him by 5 yards. There was an old school, like grade school square out. That's what he used to go, go square out. It was Cooper Kupp running that route. Pitch and catch. Easiest read there. One hopped it to him. He did not play well at all.
He didn't.
He was lucky that Kenneth Walker played great and his defense played great because he brought nothing to the table.
If he didn't play well, then what did Drake May play? How would you describe him?
Oh, Nate, like, people disagree with my thoughts on the Super Bowl. Drake May lost the Super Bowl for the Patriots, man. Like, I know it's not just that. Like, again, Kenneth Walker played great. Seattle's defense played great. I'm not trying to take credit away from the Seahawks all across the board. But the truth is, a lot more NFL games, especially in the playoffs, are lost than they are won. And for these people that are like, Drake May didn't have a chance, like, stop it. Like, we're talking about a handful of plays that you could say, all right, he just didn't have a chance on this play. It was a Will Campbell Olay block. And, okay, he didn't have a chance. We're talking about a handful of plays. But people will look at those handful of plays and say, he didn't have a chance on any of the 67 offensive plays that the Patriots ran. And it's ridiculous. He had plenty of chances. I think when they numbed his shoulder, Nate, I think they missed. I think they numbed his brain. He was so slow to process anything all night. The one throw in the end zone, he took forever. He's just standing in his own end zone like, all right, looks like my tight end's open. He is. I'm going to throw it to him now. It's like, Drake, you're in your own end zone, dude. The 3 turnovers were atrocious. Nate, that's still a 12-0 game at the very end of the third quarter. It's still a game. And he fumbled there, and then the interception. Chris Collinsworth, who jocks quarterback after quarterback after quarterback. He's literally drooling in the booth over multiple quarterbacks. When Drake May threw that hideous interception, he was like, I got nothing. Even Chris Collinsworth couldn't say anything. He was brutal, and he absolutely cost the Patriots that game, man. I don't know what happened to the guy. He was kidnapped and replaced by Christian Ponder. I don't know. There's an APB on the true Drake May. I don't know where he went for Super Bowl Sunday.
I'm going to tell you where he went. He went to actually playing a real team, and I've seen it. I saw it in the playoffs. He played real teams. He didn't do anything. What if I were to tell you Drake May is close to C.J. Stroud's trajectory? That's who I believe he is.
I don't believe so, but there is an argument to be made. That's how it's going to go, Nate, because, look, I'm sure you made all these, very valid points because you are a sharp, witty man, right? Like, you just look at it where it wasn't a gauntlet. We know it was a cake schedule this year, all right? It was just a super, super favorable schedule this season. And then you look how he played in the playoffs, shaky against the Texans. That didn't do anything when the weather was even good, right? The first half is 2.5 quarters. The weather was fine against Denver. He did nothing. So, and then the Super Bowl, he was a freaking train wreck, man. So I get the skepticism. I do think that he is the real deal.
Oh,
you can't just sleepwalk your way to a 73% completion rate and finishing second place in the MVP race. and not be the real deal. Like that's not just like complete fool's gold. I don't believe so.
Okay.
I think that he's got the goods. I think that he might take a step back next season when the competition stiffens. But no, I don't think that he's just, some flash in the pan and this dude is going to be exposed year after year after year. I think he's a lot better than that. But hey, time will tell. You got a leg to stand on to make that argument, though, Nate.
Brian Noe Super Bowl reaction. You know what you can't sleepwalk your way through? A Brian Noe segment and 31 wins in 2 seasons, and that was Sam Darnold. You can't sleepwalk your way through it. Brian, I always great to have you. Let's take a breather, just a short breather, talking ball, and then we're back at it better than ever, and I appreciate you coming on.
Hey, man, I always love talking ball with you, Nate. I hope the breather isn't too long because I got hot takes left and right for you. Justin Herbert's way better than Sam Darnold.
There you go. Oh, my goodness, we left with that.
Let Sam Darnold play behind like 2 offensive tackles who are down. See how he does.
Okay, all right. I appreciate you, man. Brian Noe spitting tonight. He's spitting tonight. I'm not going to give him that long of a break. I mean, he comes on every week on the Nate Brown Show, and we're going to keep this train rolling. Brian Noe tonight. Countdown to Kickoff host all season long on Fox Sports Radio. He hasn't checked out UNLV football. He's right there in Las Vegas. Hasn't checked out UNLV football. Speaking of checking it out, well, I'm going to check it out. I've asked you my question of the day. How many wins does North Dakota State get their first year in the Mountain West? They're going to play 8 conference games. That's what I'm basing this on. So 8 conference games. How many wins does North Dakota State get? I'm hearing a lot of people think they're going to just run through the Mountain West. This is going to be no problem for the Bison. I might have some issues with that. I'm going to go through the schedule. Let's do it. I'm going through the schedule. How many wins for the Bison? What say you? 605-720-1067. I'm back with my read next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Want to do more of what you love and earn cash back doing it? With a Visa Cashback credit card from Black Hills Federal Credit Union, it's possible. Earn 1.5% cash back on everyday purchases like gas and groceries, and use it to fund your shoe obsession, vinyl collection, or airline upgrade. Plus, spend $2,000 in your first 90 days and get a $200 cashback bonus. Learn more at bhfcu.com/cashback. Offer subject to credit approval. Other restrictions apply.
From gooey grilled cheese sandwiches on Dakota-style 12-grain to peanut butter and jelly on Kids' Choice soft white bread. Kids of all ages want simple, comforting food that remind them of mom's home cooking. Country Hearth was born from that nostalgia and commitment to simplicity. Baked locally using natural ingredients like whole grains and honey, our breads are delivered fresh daily to grocery stores throughout the Midwest. Country Hearth Breads, baking our best for you.
Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer from Denny Menholt Toyota. Use your phone. It's fast and easy. Pull up our website, click on Value Trade-In, scan your VIN, and tell us about your car. You are on your way to a no-hassle, no-commitment cash offer on your vehicle in under 5 minutes. Bring your vehicle and your Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer to Denny Menholt Toyota and get cash or trade-in credit today. See you soon at Denny Menholt Toyota, Rapid City.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Lows dip down to about 26. Tonight, under mainly clear skies, winds out of the southwest around 5 miles per hour. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 52. Tomorrow night, lows dip down to about 30. Mainly clear skies Thursday with highs around 53. 58 Friday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 41 degrees.
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines, supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
This Valentine's Day, turn up the fun at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort with All Request Productions dueling pianos. Dinner starts at 6, followed by a high-energy, request-driven piano showdown from 7 to 9. Your favorite songs, laughs, and non-stop crowd interaction. Your ticket includes a chef-curated dinner experience, dessert, and drinks available at the event bar. Great food, live music, and unforgettable fun. Only at Cadillac Jack's in Deadwood. Visit CadillacJacksGaming.com to get your tickets today.
At Connect Home Center, they've been a part of the Mead Lumber family since 2000. Now, they're bringing everything together under one trusted name, Mead Lumber. Don't worry, your favorite team, great service, and high-quality products aren't going anywhere. Connect Home Center is becoming Mead Lumber. Same people, same service, just a new name. From design to finish, here for you every step of the way. Check them out at meadlumber.com.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
All right, welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on tonight. Fox Sports Radio, KWSN Sioux Falls. Welcome in on Fox Sports Rapid City. South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Busy tonight. Great first hour. Jeff Kolpak joined us from Fargo, North Dakota. Reaction and reporting on North Dakota State to the Mountain West. He's already reporting that North Dakota State has commitments of $25 million from donors to help with this transition. They got some big fees to pay. They got scholarships to bump up from 63 to at least 85. Jeff Kolpak on tonight from Inforum. We're talking North Dakota State tonight because I've asked you, hey, yesterday was the reaction. What do you think of North Dakota State moving up? And everybody, for the most part, said smart move for them. You got to do it. I mean, this is the opportunity, and that's kind of the thing. Now I'm asking, it seems like North Dakota State's getting over their skis. Seems like some of the Bison fans, man, you guys, it's like you think you're going to go into the Mountain West and just run the table. So I asked this question tonight on the Nate Brown Show to the South Dakota sports fans. How many wins does North Dakota State get in their first season in the Mountain West? How many wins does North Dakota State get in their first season in the Mountain West? They're going to have 8 conference games. So they're only going to play, they're not going to play one team. And they haven't released it. They're working on the schedule right now. So I don't know who that's going to be. So I'm just going to pull out San Jose State for this exercise that I'm doing tonight. I'm going to pull out San Jose State. Why? California, they're not going to make them go that far again. So if they have Hawaii on the schedule, they're going to keep San Jose State off. Because you know they're going to make them play New Mexico. They're going to make them play Northern Illinois. That's kind of close there, Midwest. They're going to play Wyoming and some of these Mountain West schools. So I'm going to take San Jose State off the schedule just for this exercise. Let's be fair. And I'm asking you, does North Dakota State get a winning season in the Mountain West in year one? 5-3, 6-2. Jeff Kolpak said he's hoping for a total win of like 6. So he's hoping they could go like 6-6 overall. So what would they have to do in the Mountain West to get there? I'm asking you, winning season of the Mountain West or losing season of the Mountain West? Let's go through it. I've got it. I hate to tell you, this isn't Cupcake Central anymore, okay? Northern Iowa's not coming to town anymore for a little patsy, okay? We're going to be playing football. This isn't any more Murray State fun, okay? Let's go. Air Force Falcons. Where's it going to be? In Colorado Springs? Because if you got the cadets doing the push-ups and they're rolling, they're going to run the option over you. They're going to run over you. Give me Air Force beating North Dakota State. The Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Okay, let's see. They were good last year. Coach Chang, former QB, they can toss it. You've never seen a spread offense like that. They're going to toss it. Hawaii beats North Dakota State. Sorry to tell you, Sida got 2 losses for the Bison there. Air Force and Hawaii. Nevada Wolfpack. You better beat them. I mean, this is the bottom of the Mountain West. You better beat Nevada. You go to Reno, nobody even wants to watch Nevada. But anyway, Coach Choate down there, he's an FCS guy, former Montana State guy. Look out. Might be competitive, but give me North Dakota State over Nevada tonight. New Mexico. The Lobos and Coach Jason Eck. You think he's going to lose to North Dakota State now? Jason Eck knows how to beat North Dakota State. You might remember. And New Mexico is going to beat North Dakota State. That'll actually be a 2-touchdown game, I'm sorry to tell you, at least. New Mexico over North Dakota State. How about we go to Northern Illinois? This isn't the Northern Illinois team that beat Notre Dame 2 years ago. That was a fluke. Northern Illinois, a little rough last year. I'm going to throw it a toss-up. It's a toss-up. I guess I'll give the Bison a W there. I guess. The Bison over Northern Illinois. So I've got them 2 wins so far. Hey, 2 wins so far in the Mountain West. Over Nevada, over Northern Illinois. The UTEP Miners. They had 2 wins last year. The Sun Bowl. Nice weather. North Dakota State's going to think, man, we got out of Fargo to come down here. This is a beauty. And they will win that game. North Dakota State will beat UTEP. You can book that. So I got 3 wins for North Dakota State already. UNLV. It's over. You don't want to come to Las Vegas, Allegiant Stadium. UNLV, Coach Mullen, you're gonna get beat up there. This isn't a UNLV team that's dog biscuits. They are good. Maybe the best team of the Mountain West. UNLV beats North Dakota State rather easily in year number 1. So I got 3 wins still. Can they finish 4-4? The last team on the schedule, the Wyoming Cowboys. You think these guys are going to put up with North Dakota State coming into the Mountain West and pushing them around? You think the Pokes? Oh, I got it. Yeah, I got Poke stuff up here in the studio. You think Wyoming's? They're tougher than a $2 steak in Laramie. And they're not going to be messing around thinking North Dakota State. Everybody thinks the FCS teams are better than Wyoming. Wyoming's going to be playing for pride. Jay Sawville back as head coach. He's going to have his guys ready. New QB, new offense, and they're going to get the win. Wyoming's not going to lose to North Dakota State. You can count on that. The Pokes will be ready. Sorry, I got the final tally, 3-5. In the Mountain West, year number 1. 3-5 for North Dakota State. Speaking of Wyoming, we'll talk to Kevin McKinney, longtime Associate Athletic Director for the Pokes. He's on tonight from Laramie. What does he think of North Dakota State jumping in the Mountain West? Oh, yeah, you know, I wasn't going to pick North Dakota State over Wyoming. Are you crazy? It's the Pokes all day. Coming right back into the Nate Brown Show second hour. Is there a media bias in South Dakota for the Jacks over the Yotes? Let's have that discussion next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number 1. So you can always be their number 1. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number 1 hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Show your home some love with an upgrade to Acclaim replacement windows and an ensemble entry door. Get 20% off windows and doors with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Plus, get an extra 5% off the entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Energy efficient, durable, and custom made for the perfect fit. It's time to show your home some love. Call today or visit RVARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
Welcome in. Second hour ready to go. Thanks for being here tonight. The Nate Brown Show live. Glad you're a part of the program, and thanks for making us part of your day and making this show possible, really. South Dakota Sports Talk Show on KWSN Sioux Falls and Fox Sports Rapid City. Second hour, good stuff tonight. Kevin McKinney's going to join us live. Longtime Associate Athletic Director for the University of Wyoming. He's been there a long time. He's a color man for the Wyoming Cowboys Radio Network. Kevin McKinney on reaction from Wyoming about the new addition to the Mountain West. Kevin McKinney live from Laramie. We'll talk high school hoops with Jason Andera coming up. SD Preps analyst for SDPB Sports. Jason Andera talking high school basketball. We got a Go Big Red text on the text line. Yeah, Nebraska taking on Purdue tonight. Nebraska-Purdue in a showdown. Nebraska's lost a couple now. I don't like it. I like Purdue tonight for what it's worth. Purdue trying to bounce back. They had an okay game against Oregon. I like Purdue tonight. You heard it here first. The Nate Brown Show brought to you in part by Trav's Outfitter. Trav'sOutfitter.com. Here to build a relationship before they sell you a pair of boots. So get into the new store on Campbell Street in Rapid City. Not about a quick sale. No commission push there. It's a staff that knows work boots and Western boots. And the best selection right there for your work, for your lifestyle. No pressure. They'd rather earn your trust than force a sale. They want you to come back. Don't make the wrong choice. Make the right choice. Go to Trav's Outfitter on Campbell Street in Rapid City. Family-owned South Dakota store and proud of it. Best selection, best service, no BS at Trav'sOutfitter.com. All right. So here's what's been going down. Here's what's been going down in South Dakota media the past couple of days. Here's what's been going down. So South Dakota East River Media, these guys, I know these guys. You hear Matt Zimmer. I like Matt. We have him on the show. I appreciate Matt's coverage. Matt Zimmer, great sports writer, Sioux Falls Live. John Gaskins, longtime sports broadcaster. He has a podcast. They cover a lot of college, right? They cover huge college sports, SDSU and USD. And there's this dust-up going on because the USD athletic director, John Schemmel, who we had on the show yesterday, said that, hey, to John, like, you don't have to masquerade as a neutral media outlet because John had mentioned USD referenced him as little brother to SDSU. And so we have this thing going now of, is there fair coverage? Does the media have to be totally fair? You got 30 stories on SDSU. You need to have 30 stories on USD. Is that what this is about? Or is it, well, no, is there favoritism towards SDSU in this state from South Dakota media members? It's not just Zimmer, Gaskins. I mean, there's other media across the state. Is there favoritism towards more coverage of South Dakota State over USD? So I asked this question yesterday on Twitter. We had like over 500 responses. Okay, we had over like 500 responses. I asked, is there media bias in South Dakota favoring the Jacks over the Yotes? So if you aren't on Twitter or anything, maybe you could tell me tonight. I'll allow you to do that on the text line if you want to sound off. Is there media bias favoring the Jacks over the Yotes in South Dakota? Do you think that's the case? 605-720-1067 on the text line tonight. Here's my real take, okay? The Jacks get more overall coverage and more favorable coverage than USD. It's, I mean, I don't think there's an argument there anymore, is there? I mean, it's really easy to see, guys. The Jacks have won national championships, been in the semifinals. They were the first to get to the NCAA tournament on the basketball side. Just more sustained success for longer. National level success. So it's really easy to see, like, there is going to be more coverage of South Dakota State. Their fan base is pretty passionate. I just know this anecdotally by what you get reactions from and what you get hits on and all of that stuff that we do from interviews and whatever. That's just the case. It's not a big argument. It's like, well, no, I mean, media bias means that you like the Jacks more. Well, I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm saying media bias can also be, do you favor more Jacks coverage than USD? And that is the case. It kind of takes me back to my start of my broadcast career. Here's a simple one for you. So I started out doing high school play-by-play. Just started out doing country radio, high school play-by-play here in South Dakota. I asked the manager of the radio station, I said, hey, I want to do play-by-play. I want to do sports stuff like this. Let's start covering games. Okay. There was one team that was starting to dominate West River. There was one basketball team starting to dominate West River. Nobody was covering them. St. Thomas More. This is when Dave Hollenbeck got his big run going. So I started covering it, and we covered all these St. Thomas More games, and that's like one of the only teams I covered. Like, we put St. Thomas More. This game went on the road. This is old school radio now. I'm going on the bus. And we're going to this community, and we got the St. Thomas More coverage going, and I covered all the state championships and the whole thing. I was biased towards St. Thomas More at that time. That is a fact. You can say, well, what do you mean? You liked St. Thomas more than other teams? Well, no, I covered them way more because they were having all the success. I started choosing the games that we would cover, and the team I gave the most coverage to in the West River market was St. Thomas More. They were interesting. That's how things work. It's not a debate. It's not everybody has to say, well, no, we do this and this and this and this for USD, or no, you don't. You guys just love SDSU. SDSU gets more favorable coverage. There is a little bit of a bias towards the amount of coverage for SDSU. It's easy to see to me. That doesn't mean that the media doesn't like USD, doesn't want to cover USD, will not cover USD. That's not the case. But it's not going to be 20 stories for SDSU and 20 stories for USD. It is going to be lopsided. At least it is. It is. And USD has been on the rise. And USD's athletic director can stick up for USD. He could say, hey, man, we're in this thing too. That's his job. That's his job. I think we could all just take a step back and say, it's really not that big a deal. There is overall more coverage for SDSU in South Dakota than USD. And the USD athletic director is trying to get that changed. He just wants to make sure we're at the table and we're rising as well. I think that's how it really plays out. All right. Listener text coming in. SDSU has media bias over USD, and I'm an SDSU fan. I believe it's mostly because of the fan following, attendance, interest. Yeah, no, that's the thing. I get it. Listener text coming in. The Yotes suck. Thank you for that. Let's keep the rivalry burning. Let's keep it burning. That's just how it played out. I mean, I don't think it's any bigger than that. I thought of the time I started my high school career. There's teams that win, there's teams that have success, and then there's interest, and then you cover them more, and then that's the way it goes. And it's not no, you can't be fair to anybody ever again. No, that's just kind of the landscape. That's where we're at. Let's go to the Mountain West Conference. Kevin McKinney is on tonight, longtime Wyoming Cowboys Associate Athletic Director. He's been in that department a long time. He's the Wyoming Cowboys color man on the Wyoming Radio Network. What does he think of the new addition to the Mountain West? Kevin McKinney, live from Laramie, Wyoming, up next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Text scams continue to rise, and victims who have lost money to these scams continues to increase. Consumers cannot rely on a text message to be truthful. If you receive a message regarding a fine for missing jury duty, your utilities being shut off for non-payment, toll road fines, or you've won a sweepstakes, these are scams designed with an urgency and the need to send money now. Do not respond to these texts, and you should contact Consumer Protection at 800-300-1986. That's 800-300-1986 for the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Calling all basketball teams, it's time to box out the competition. The Box Out Basketball Tournament's taking over the Box Elder Event Center May 29th through 31st. The tournament's open to 5th through 10th grade boys and girls with limited team spots available. Friday and Saturday feature pool play, leading to Sunday's bracket play for the win. Fast-paced games, big plays, unforgettable moments at the best facility. Register now at thebox.live.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Lows dip down to about 26. Tonight, under mainly clear skies, winds out of the southwest around 5 miles per hour. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 52. Tomorrow night, lows dip down to about 30. Mainly clear skies. Thursday, with highs around 53. 58 Friday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 41 degrees.
At Highmark Credit Union, we believe banking should feel personal. That's why when you walk into our lobbies, you'll be greeted by real tellers and friendly staff, ready to help with your questions, big or small. And yes, we've got the latest technology too, for when you want quick and convenient service. The best part? You get to choose. Highmark Credit Union. Personal service backed by modern technology. We'll make it happen. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Whether you run the race, make the catch, cast a line, pitch a tent, or just look good doing it, Shields Rapid City has your gear. From athletic clothing from your favorite team, cold weather gear to keep you warm, to the best camping selection this side of the Black Hills, and the most stylish and functional women's outerwear and footwear. Shields has the widest selection of the best brands in the business. So when you're ready to get out, get in the game, or get going, get to Shields. Shields, we're right there with you at Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Well, welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on tonight. Glad you're here. Appreciate you. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live across South Dakota on KWSN Sioux Falls and Fox Sports Rapid City. The Nate Brown Show powered by Black Hills Federal Credit Union, my family's banking partner. We've been with them a while now, and so glad we made the switch. Whether it's the personal service, the technology, the convenience. I got their mobile app. That's really good on my phone. Keeps track of my daughter's account. Really good stuff. Saves you a ton of time. They got great rates right now. Check them out. Great rates on vehicles and everything else. Personal, business. BHFCU.com. That's where you want to get started. Just become a member. They have 18 locations across South Dakota from the Black Hills to Sioux Falls. BHFCU.com. Become a member at Black Hills Federal Credit Union like me. Let's go to Wyoming. Wyoming Cowboys Radio Network. Covering some hoops right now. My gosh, Sundance Wicks in this program. I like what they're doing right now. They're knocked off Colorado State right there with Utah State. And CSU coming up again. He covers him. He's been doing it a long time. Long-time Associate Athletic Director for the University of Wyoming as well. Kevin McKinney back on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Kevin, how are you?
I'm A+, Nate. It's good to talk to you.
I appreciate you coming on, man. I wanted to get you on because I said, hey, we got some news in the Mountain West, and you've been there, done that. You went through a lot of changes. The WAC, the old WAC, the new WAC, the Mountain West, and now another new Mountain West. So let me ask you your reaction from the Wyoming side of things, that the Mountain West invites in North Dakota State out of the FCS. What do you think?
Well, we're really pretty pleased about it, Nate. I mean, the brand that they carry is impressive, as we all know. And the Mountain West lost a good brand when Boise State left. So I'm not saying that North Dakota State can replace that. Maybe they can. Maybe somebody else can. But that was a good brand for the league, and we hated to see them go. But you're talking about a national brand here with the Bison, and I think it's just a really good addition to the league, and will only make it stronger.
Okay, I think about what does teams like Wyoming and institutions in the Mountain West think of these top-tier FCS teams. North Dakota State has won 10 out of 15 national titles. We've seen them beat FBS schools. How much respect do you think the Mountain West has for NDSU's football product?
Well, I think the league has a lot of respect for them. I mean, how could you not? So they were winning national championships at kind of a different level. It doesn't matter. They know how to win. They have a tremendous program. They have unbelievable support. And I think they're going to be not only a good addition to the league, but they're going to be a very competitive program with our league members. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Do you think there's interest from the Wyoming fan base? Sometimes people don't even have the FCS really on the radar. Now, this is kind of a regional thing, though, with North Dakota State, so it's not like somebody from the East Coast just jumped in. But is there an interest in Wyoming playing NDSU in year one?
Oh, I think so. Wyoming has a special connection with those guys because Craig Bohl came from there and coached the Cowboys for 10 years. So they were very aware of North Dakota State long ago and how successful they were. And I think that, Paul Second's the coach now. He was our offensive coordinator. So there's a connection, no doubt about it. And I think our fans, I feel very good about the North Dakota State program solidifying the Mountain West on a national level.
Kevin McKinney on tonight, Wyoming Cowboys Radio Network, longtime color man for the broadcast team and a longtime associate athletic director of the University of Wyoming. So I want to know if you think there's more change, Kevin. You've been there for all the changes. Is there more of this going to happen? North Dakota State's the first one to get in. Do you think there's more down the road because the Montana schools talk about it? South Dakota State talks about it a little bit. Is there more down the road?
Oh, I think there's no doubt about it, Nate. I mean, there's so much flux now in conferences that you have to believe that there's going to be more. Will people leave the Mountain West who are in now? Who knows? Probably so. And so there'll be additions and subtractions. I think this is part of what we live with now in college athletics. As much as we may not like it, it's what it is. The traditional games, the traditional conferences, long gone, and so now it's all driven by money and television. And so we'll stay tuned. But I will say that there'll be more changes. I don't think there's any question about it. It'll be interesting to see. I wish I could say it would stay the same for a while, but I just don't think it will. That's just not what's going on now.
I want to ask you your reaction to this report out of North Dakota. They said they've secured $25 million in support for this transition. They're going to owe $17.5 million over the years here to the Mountain West and the fee to the NCAA to jump up. They've secured $25 million in short order, is what the report is. What's your reaction to that?
Well, it's they're just amazing there. We know that. For them to come up with that kind of money tells you how important it is for them to make this move. But I must say, Nate, I'm not really surprised by it. What they have going there and what they've had through these years and the success they've enjoyed, that is a big-time program. And a lot of people may not know that. We certainly do out in this part of the country. But as they transition into the Mountain West, people know more and more about North Dakota State. But, to come up with that kind of money is staggering. But I must say I'm not surprised because of the support and tradition that they have.
Take me inside some of the money discussions at Wyoming, because there's been some big ones, Kevin. The last few weeks? There's been some big ones. The legislature is getting together, and they're talking about potential cuts. And this could be millions of dollars even from an athletic department. Millions from the university and millions from the athletic department. Where's this battle going?
Well, obviously, under the circumstances, under the landscape of what's going on, you don't want to cut. You're trying to add. The NIL has made that a possibility. But, Tom Berman, who's been an unbelievable athletics director for Wyoming for, 19 years, he is working diligently with the legislature. He's going one-on-one with legislators. It's just a time when you can't be talking about cutting. In Wyoming, it's the only four-year institution in the state. It's a statewide entity that people follow and back and love. And to cut from your only university, it just doesn't make any sense. You've got to be for education, and that seems like counterproductive. But it hasn't happened yet. It's been been discussed and still is discussed. But the athletics department is doing everything it can with the legislature to try to stop that from happening, as is the university itself. So, it's not like the state of Wyoming doesn't have any money. I think it's doing pretty well, actually. But there's always movement to cut things, and especially in athletics. And so, hopefully, if it happens, it will be minimal. But hopefully, it doesn't happen at all, because what we need to be doing is, as an athletic department, we've got to be adding and getting more revenue in for the NIL on top of so many other expenses.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. Kevin McKinney's on tonight, Wyoming Cowboys Radio Network, longtime color man, great broadcaster, and great administrator, associate AD at the University of Wyoming. I was going to ask you, where's the public at in Wyoming on the NIL? Because it's a constant battle, and I feel like a lot of the public sometimes says, wow, we got to give more money to pay the players. We don't like doing this. And then I saw Coach Saville actually is going to give 6 figures from his own check.
Yeah, that's the fact that he did that, which is honorable as heck. But, I think Wyoming is starting to come around a little bit with it, Nate. They were not for it much at all to begin with. But I think, like everybody else, they can see where athletics is now going, and where you have to have an NIL budget, or you're not going to survive, you're not going to be successful. So I think I'm not sure whether it's slowly coming around, but they are coming around to it and understanding how important it is now to have that revenue to help your program be successul. There was a time early on they weren't for it at all, I can tell you, but I think they are understanding, the lay of the land and what needs to be done.
Couple more for Kevin McKinney. I'll let him run. What do you think about the job Sundance Wicks is doing? Ups and downs. Mountain West basketball is no picnic. It's not a cakewalk. But he's got some nice games. He's right there with Utah State, which is a high-level program. Beats Colorado State. They got them coming up again. Where's the program at?
Well, the Cowboys need more players and probably more big guys than they have right now. But I think that you watch Sundance, and with him every day, and he is a Wyoming guy. It's very close to his heart, and he's doing everything he can to get this program going again. Just the Utah State game was an example of what he can do as far as motivation for the kids. They're going to have to get more players. There's no doubt about that. He knows that. He'd like to keep some of the guys that they now have that you just don't know about, of course, in this day and time. But I think they have the right guy there. He loves this program, and he's going to do everything he can to make it successful. I really like what I'm seeing with him, and I'm a Wyoming guy too, and it's close to my heart. I know how he feels. It's tough to take the losses, but that game against Utah State the other night was a great demonstration of how he can motivate his kids and how he can get them in the right positions to be competitive and successful. And it's going to take some more time. There's no doubt about that. But I really like the guy who's in charge, and I think that Cowboy basketball is in really good hands.
Maybe a couple of players away at Wyoming men's basketball. A couple of players means a lot in hoops. Kevin McKinney, here's my big prediction tonight. On the Nate Brown Show, I said North Dakota State's going to play Wyoming. I don't know where it's going to be. Schedule's not out yet. So if North Dakota State has to come to Laramie, they're used to playing inside up there in Fargo. They're used to warm weather in Fargo inside. You're going to come to Laramie maybe in November. I picked the Pokes to win. You tell me if I'm right.
You're right.
Okay.
But the only issue is we played our last home game late November this year. It was 60 degrees, the Josh Allen day. So I don't know if the climate's changing, Nate, or what, but it may be nice. The Bison came in a few years ago to Laramie, earlier in the year when it was nice. But, we would probably enjoy a colder day if they came to Laramie late November, but I'm worried about it may not be cold the way the weather is these days.
Yeah, no kidding. I understand that. I'm taking Wyoming over NDSU. We'll see if that schedule comes out soon now that the Bison are in the Mountain West. And Kevin McKinney on tonight with reaction from Wyoming. Kevin, enjoy the rest of the season. Thanks for coming on.
Always good talking to you, Nate. Take care.
Thanks a lot. Kevin McKinney, Wyoming Cowboys Radio Network. Longtime colorman, broadcaster, Hall of Famer, and longtime associate athletic director at the University of Wyoming. Kevin on tonight from Laramie. Coming right back, we'll go high school hoops. We haven't talked to Jason Andera about all these proposals for high school basketball that went down in flames. Jason Andera, SDPB Sports, coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
All kinds of vehicles, all kinds of loans, all as low as 4.99% APR. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we're here to help all kinds of people, just like you. Get moving. From truck drivers to van warriors, we got the right loan to fit your style with rates as low as 4.99% APR. Wherever the road takes you, start with BHFCU. Apply today at bhfcu.com or text or call 605-718-1818.
Offer subject to credit approval. BHFCU is member owned and insured by NCUA.
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Western style isn't stuck in the past. It's built for today. At Trav's Outfitter, we carry modern Western boots from brands you know and trust. Brands like Haier, Ariat, and Tecovas. Clean lines, broken-in comfort, and craftsmanship that fits right in, whether you're at work, out for the night, or anywhere in between. Wherever you're headed, your boots will be right there with you. Visit us in the old Kmart building. Trav's Outfitter, best selection, best service, no BS.
As we kick off the new year and you think about new opportunities in 2026, Lee Cruz with New York Life Insurance Company in Rapid City is ready to help you and your family protect your financial future. Nobody knows what life will bring, and that's why it's so important to have life insurance in place. And Lee Cruz is a local guy that will help set up the right policy that fits your needs and budget. Just take 10 minutes, protect your family with life insurance. Google Lee Cruz New York Life. That's Lee Cruz at 605-360-8804.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
City driving might feel routine, but it's tough on your car. All those quick starts, hard stops, endless red lights, and long idle times. They wear things down fast. Brakes, fluids, engine components, they all take a beating. That's where Al's D&I Repair in Rapid City comes in. We handle the maintenance that keeps your vehicle ready for whatever the city throws at it. Al's D&I, fixing it right since 77. Check in at Al's D&I on Sturgis Road and online at alsdniautorepair.com.
Ever since Barron's Wilson Funeral Home first opened their doors in Rapid City 140 years ago, they have continued to make personal service their #1 priority. In your time of grief, they offer a personal touch by being at your side through every step of the funeral process. They answer difficult questions and guide you toward other professional services you may need. See for yourself the wide variety of services they can provide for you by visiting their website at barronswilson.com.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
All right, the Nate Brown Show is on tonight, live on Fox Sports Radio, our affiliates across South Dakota on KWSN Sioux Falls. Thanks for being here. Fox Sports Rapid City, appreciate you. Busy show tonight from North Dakota State to Brian Noe and all over the place. Went to the Mountain West with Kevin McKinney, University of Wyoming. So good stuff. The Nate Brown Show podcast is available. If you miss any parts, any segments, any guests, go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. It's there on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, really wherever you get your podcast. Just search The Nate Brown Show, and then you've got this show on demand. Jason Andera, you can get him on demand anytime. Anytime. Talking high school basketball. SDPB Game Time is the show. They put it out there, talking hoops. Jason, welcome in. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for having me, Nate.
I appreciate you. I haven't talked to you about all these proposals that went down last week at the basketball advisory meeting. I haven't gotten your opinion on these, so let's run through it. So SODAC 32, 2 proposals. They didn't make it. Are we going to keep this train going every year?
There's definitely some people who are going to keep the train going. You know that. And there's going to be other trains pulling up to the station, too. But, it might take a while. I think eventually people might gravitate toward this. But like we talked about last week, the rare instances where our 3 teams from a region, really feel like title contenders might not justify the means.
Okay, so SODAC 32 instead of the SODAC 16 in South Dakota, not going to happen again. It didn't make it out of basketball advisory. Here's the one where making the coaches report the stats. They didn't want to do it, Jason. What's your media reaction? No stats for you.
I would love if they reported stats. I really spend a lot of time trying to gather stats, and you're right. Some coaches are more willing to share than others. I've heard some people, like we talked about last week, some people don't want the opposing team to know their field goal percentage and their turnovers and their free throw percentage, thinking it's a strategic advantage at the end of games to not know that type of stuff. I don't think that matters as much as it is as much as it would help promote the sports and promote more fans and more involvement, and just better for everybody if we've got stats. I absolutely loved covering the Iowa versus South Dakota schools at the Pentagon this week, because every single one of the Iowa stats were up to date and on Varsity Bound. It was so awesome.
Okay, so Iowa does it, and that's where we got this proposal, like this, almost the exact same thing, like the penalties and everything. But they didn't want to take it out of the committee at basketball. They said, no, we're not going to do this. Here's where I'm at on it. I think the Activities Association has to approach this, Jason. They have to say, this isn't just a basketball thing. You can't just do a basketball thing. This has got to be each sport. This should be an Activities Association thing, no?
Yeah. I think so. I think, and I get it, like, football is going to be way easier to do. Once a week, you upload your stats. Basketball, volleyball, multiple times a week, you're going to have somebody, one of your managers or assistant coaches in charge of making sure that gets done. It is a little bit more tedious, but really, they've made it pretty easy. I've talked to some people, some coaches, who use the Varsity Bound website, and I asked them, how hard is it to upload stats? And they said, it's very simple. So I don't think it would take that much extra time to do that.
Okay, we'll see. I just think it needs to be an Activities Association thing. They got to approach it with the schools and make all the sports do it. So maybe they started the discussion in basketball. I think this needs to be a statewide thing where coaches, if basketball coaches have to do it, everybody should really be doing it. So we'll see. Jason Andera on tonight, SDPB Sports. Follow him at 605 Jandy. So on the basketball side, we just saw AA girls, the top 2 teams in Rapid City, Brandon Valley and Sioux Falls O'Gorman. And they took care of Stevens and Central. Now, I have the Stevens girls still in the mix in the top 5. I do. Because I look at AA girls and I say, okay, Brandon Valley, O'Gorman, Washington, and then I don't know who else is close up there. Is there anybody?
Yeah, there's a big big fall off especially when you get past the top two. Brandon Valley and O'Gorman have really established themselves as teams that play such up-tempo, I'm having trouble talking today, up-tempo defense that you have to have great ball handlers to be able to play against those teams and have any chance to survive. And just not enough, AA girls basketball teams have that type of team ball handling where they can hang with those two teams. So I think those two teams are even, Washington's probably still another half step back. And then after that, Mitchell's on a little bit of a roll here with 10 wins in a row. They've got some really good young players. They have some potential to get better as the season goes on. Jefferson's got a couple of really good players, but not really a full team. And then, you've got the Aberdeen Centrals and those teams, Stevens, who belong in the mix for sure, but it's going to be really tough to knock on that door of making it to a Saturday night this year.
Shift to Class A boys. Here's something that jumped out to me. I think St. Thomas More is a good team. I think they're a good team. They're sitting like 13, 14 in the power points, in the seed points. That's a tough SODAC 16 potential game. I mean, St. Thomas More is a 14 seed potentially. You're telling me they might not make it to the State A?
Well, it is going to be tough for them, and especially, this weekend they've got Sioux Falls Christian, I think, at the DWU Classic. They got a couple more tough games on the register. So, yeah, there are some really good teams, and seed points are nice, but they're not perfect. And I was just looking at the Class B seed points, actually, just before we got on here, and looking how much different the seed points and the rankings are right now.
Oh.
And they are all over the place. Like, it's not, not the best team is always at the top of the seed points. So, we're going to have some really interesting teams who could pose a real threat to some of the top teams if they're teams like St. Thomas More sitting in that 13-12 range who can do some damage.
Yeah, that's wild to me. I mean, I think St. Thomas More is a Class A state boys team. I do, and I think it's a deep class. I understand, but if they're going to be playing somebody at 13 seed, something like that, look out. We'll see how this plays out. We got a month before the state tournaments, essentially. Postseason is going to be here soon. Jason Anderis on tonight. SDPB Sports. Watch the show. It's called Game Time. How about Ashlyn Kopel, Wagner, McDonald's All-American? A big deal.
Yeah, it was really cool. We're going to have a little clip of her on our show this week. She talked to Nate Weck at SDPB, and she said, I was just thrilled to be nominated, and you hear that all the time, but to actually be selected is quite an honor. It is quite an honor to be able to be one of those top players in the entire nation. She had her pick of places to go play college basketball, and now she'll play along with those players, and it's going to be really interesting because she has to play such a different role on her high school team than what she will be able to do when she's surrounded by talent. It is She's special.
Yeah, you don't see that very often from a state of South Dakota, a McDonald's All-American playing in the game. Ashlyn Kopel out of Wagner. Jason, good to have you, man. I always appreciate it. Thanks.
You bet. Take care.
Thanks a lot. Jason Andera on tonight talking high school hoops. SDPB Sports. The show's Game Time, and he's on here on the Nate Brown Show every week. Who's hot and who's not? The NCAA makes an appearance tonight.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
You've seen him on the bag. Now follow him online. It's Lofi, Country Hearts mascot. And not only is he a cute little slice, he adds a bit of fun to Fridays. Follow Lofi on Facebook for Free Bread Fridays. Each week his posts may include a kid-friendly coloring page, a fun bit of trivia, or one of his famous dad jokes. Jokes may be stale, but his bread is always fresh. Just like his post each week for a chance to win a coupon for a free Country Hearth product. Join the party with Country Hearth and Lofi on Facebook.com/Country Hearth Breads. Because when the bread is free, the fun rises.
Could there be a better name? Auto Value Parts Stores. They aren't just about air fresheners or fuzzy dice. Auto Value Parts Stores are all about parts, auto parts, and advice. Pros who know auto parts with tons of tips when you need them the most. You want real value? Don't go to a place with a cute name. Go to Auto Value. Could there be a better name? I didn't think so. Your Auto Value Parts Store. We've got the parts, we've got the smarts.
This Valentine's Day, turn up the fun at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort with all Request Productions dueling pianos. Dinner starts at 6, followed by a high-energy, request-driven piano showdown from 7 to 9. Your favorite songs, laughs, and non-stop crowd interaction. Your ticket includes a chef-curated dinner experience, dessert, and drinks available at the event bar. Great food, live music, and unforgettable fun. Only at Cadillac Jack's in Deadwood. Visit CadillacJacksGaming.com to get your tickets today.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Lows dip down to about 26. Tonight, under mainly clear skies, winds out of the southwest around 5 miles per hour. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 52. Tomorrow night, lows dip down to about 30. Mainly clear skies. Thursday, with highs around 53. 58 Friday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, 40.
Winter's arrived. I'm with Brian from Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail, and I know you have some great specials right now.
Yes, we do. Get an Arctic Start remote system, which we feel are the best in the business, from just $369. From the Ultra Simple with a range of 1,500 feet to LCD remotes that have a range of 1 mile, to our drone mobile unit, where your smartphone will start your car from anywhere on the planet.
Technology is just amazing, isn't it?
That it is. And right now, save up to $40 on a set of Toyo Celsius 2 tires, what we think are simply the best tire for our area. A 60,000-mile rated year-round winter tire. It's an absolutely amazing tire for South Dakota.
So winter performance, and you leave them on all year long?
You got it. These tires will perform way better in winter weather than a typical all-season radial. Stop in or call, and we'll go over all the Toyo tire and remote start options available, and we'll do it with the best prices in the area.
See anytime.com, and of course at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
Stuck in a state of falling behind? Struggling to keep up with your kids, your finances, your insurance, your life? This is State Farm Agent Matt McCormick. Let me help you simplify and get to a better state. With me handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. Even more money, too. Because adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40%. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and get to a better state with State Farm. 348-0464.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk.
All right, welcome in. Wrapping up the show. You made it just in time. The Nate Brown Show live, Fox Sports Radio. We do it every night at this time. Who's hot and who's not? Brought to you by the Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet. Stop by the location in Brandon. Great location for kids' birthday parties. They got some inflatables, great Fun Zone Arcade. Stop by the Brandon location in East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. Pizza Ranch, your locally owned and operated Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet. In my Who's Hot category, I'm just going to give it to North Dakota State tonight. Whether you want to say it or not, North Dakota State, the reporting today is that they've raised $25 million already. They have commitments. $25 million is what it says to get this thing handled right away. You know, they got to pay $5 million right now, $7 million right now. So $7 million right now to the Mountain West, and then some more million over the years, and then $5 million right now before this summer to the NCAA. So they got 12 off the top, and then they said they've raised $25 million in commitments. They're doing this thing right, and they're calling it, what are they calling it? Climb the mountain. That's their theme here. Climb the mountain. What mountain? There is no mountain in North Dakota, but good luck. You're going to have to climb the Mountain West. Going to be tough, but good luck. $25 million raised in my Who's Hot. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category tonight, the NCAA. They're doing this thing where can guys go to the pros and then play still? Like, there was a guy who played in the G League, the NBA G League, for 3 years. And then they let him play at Alabama the last few games. And now a judge said he can't play for Alabama, so he's off the team. But the NCAA is letting an Ole Miss guard who played at pro basketball in France for years. He played pro in France for years. He's their starting point guard at Ole Miss this week. What's the NCAA doing? They don't have a clue. They don't know what to do. It's the NCAA. Thanks for listening to the Nate Brown Show. Back tomorrow. See ya.
Inheritance, romance, and investment scams continue to plague South Dakotans with high